Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast with your host, Lauren Dulgeru, aka The Solutionist. You are about to discover priceless insight, experiences, and perspectives that will inspire and empower you to break down your own obstacles and reprogram your own limiting beliefs. All while raising women business owners to the pedestal that has been long awaiting, the coronation of true principled women in business. Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast.
Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Dulgeru, aka The Solutionist. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the nation's #1 female business strategist. I help business owners just like you to start, capitalize, grow, scale, and ultimately exit their businesses for that big payday and that maximum valuation. Here on the Principled Women in Business podcast, we're here to talk about the obstacles, the problems, what we're struggling with in our business. Because the reality is there's always a solution. And they call me the Solutionist. So I'm here to help you unravel those problems, those obstacles, those limiting beliefs, so that we can move you and your business to the next level. Because indeed, there is no such thing as a glass ceiling. You just need a mentor to help you get moving.
Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast.
And today is my profound honor to introduce to you Beverley Buckley. And she's going to come and speak to us more about sonic healing, sound healing. She's with an organization, Love Your Life Show. And I know that in my own experience, I rely very heavily on sound, sonic, acoustic healing. So you are going to get so much value out of this time that we're going to be having with Miss Beverley Buckley. Buckle up and get ready.
Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast.
So Beverley, welcome to the show. This is a Principled Women in Business podcast. And I know that, myself in my own experience, that acoustic and sound healing has changed so much in my own experience. But I am a little leery that other people might not understand the critical importance of it. So welcome onto the show. We would love to hear more. I know more people need to hear about how sound healing can, help you move forward, not only personally, but professionally. And it's needed because people they couldn't even fathom. They say sound healing. What do you mean? I don't need a hearing aid. I can hear just fine. So can you help us to bring some clarity to what that is? What do you do? Because a lot of people might not really be familiar with that.
Yes. Okay. So sound healing. So let's take a step back and actually just let's take a step back about what we're actually made of. We think that we're made of atoms. Well, firstly, we look at ourselves and we think we're physical. We think, oh my God, I am made of matter, right? I am matter. I'm made of matter.
Welcome to the Principled Women in Business podcast.
But science is now proving that we're not actually made of matter, although matter is what we classify it as. We're actually made of atoms, right?
Yes.
Quarks and all these bosons and things that they call, right? These scientific names, atoms, basically. But then when they went a little bit deeper into that, they realized that actually atoms is just a different thing for, if they go deeper and look into it, we're actually made of 99.9% space.
Yes. Thank you.
Between the atoms, there's a space, right? So we're more space than anything else. So what we are perceiving when we are, and I'm just going to put my bowl down here. What we are perceiving when we see, when I see you or you see me or we see physical things, right? What we're actually seeing is vibrating light and sound. It's vibration, it's sound vibration. And what our eyes are seeing is the vibration in front of us as our observer, because we're the observer, so we're observing it. And as we're observing us and telling ourselves what we're observing based on our collective agreement on a spiritual, metaphysical, etheric level, you could call it, right? As we're all agreeing on these things, then it makes it real. And our imagination is in the fourth dimension, which is the non-physical, which then brings things into the physical. So the physical is the effect. It's not the cause. So we think that this is the cause. This is the effect, right, of the cause, which is in the metaphysical. So if we want to actually shift things, we've got to shift it in the metaphysical. Otherwise, you're just banging your head against a wall.
And to that end, to that alone, like, you are my spirit animal. I'm slightly ashamed to admit, but it took me a long time to really realize that we are these things called human beings, which is made up of how many quadrillions of atoms. But let's think about an atom. There's so much space, right? 99.9999% space. And then we actually put that into our imagination, but I like to say image of our nation, because that's where we really go and we create. So you got me all lit up when you talk about that. Guys, if you're only hearing the audio, you should definitely go catch the video, which we post up on YouTube, because if you could see my face when she was putting all of this together, that really just lights me up, because I know the healing and the resolutions that I arrived at that she's going to be talking about, but you guys need to know it too. So Beverly, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but that was
okay. Yay, right? So we're in agreement with that. Okay. So if we're made of 99.9% space, and actually we are vibration,
yes.
What does that mean? Is we are sound. So what you are perceiving or what you are hearing when you hear the trees, you've got a whole sensory experience that's happening that's telling you that is a tree based on the key signatures that it's giving off, the light signatures and the sound signatures it's giving off. And this vessel that we call a human body is actually picking up that information and then saying, oh, this is what it is. So it's able to then look at our reality and say, okay, that is what I'm seeing, that is what I'm feeling, if we look at it at that level. Now, sound, if we look at sound, right? How do we shift something then in our world? What is something where we can shift our frequency at the blueprint level? So now we're not working with trying to figure out the surface level. We're now figuring out where did it come from? So we're going to the causal space. Right?
The root. Finally, people are dealing with the root causes. It's got to come to an end that we're putting all of these Band-Aids in the form of chemicals and petroleum-based products. We really have to go home.
Exactly.
Where is home? Right? It's in here. It's our energy. It's our thought. It's our aura is not a good word either, but it is our.
It's our heart. It's our heart.
Consciousness.
The thing is, we all have a seed atom, right? We have a thing at the center of our chest. It's kind of about here in our bodies, and this is where in the spiritual. Like I've worked with a spiritual kind of. You could say metaphysical teaching called Kithara healing and Keylontic science, and it's also called Arayas. There's a few different names for it, but what it basically, one of the teachings there is teaching about this specific spot here, and one here, right? And we've got these spots that have got a seed atom, specifically one here, and it's called an Azure Ray. This is part of our energetic anatomy.
So everyone who's listening, you need to watch.
Yeah.
But to continue with that.
Yeah, I'll just.
Is this where our chakras are, right?
No. So the one is here. The high heart is between where the collarbones meet. There's that part there where they meet. You can see that, feel a little indent. That's called the high heart. Then we've got the heart chakra.
Yes.
Right? And then you've got one just below the sternum, just below the heart chakra. It's like above the solar plexus, which is where your upper belly, where your diaphragm is. It's above there. These are the 3 points, right, that are energetic points on our body. These are the points that link us to our inner anatomy. So we've been so focused on what we see is our outer anatomy, our outer light body, our outer sound body, right? That's what we see. When I look at you, we're talking about atoms, we're talking about all these things in space, and we're talking about the outer manifestation. We also have inner manifestation, which is another world. It's like a whole reality that we actually have access to. But we haven't been taught that we have access to this because we've been primarily focused on our outer reality. And that's how we define ourselves. It's how we define ourselves successfully. It's how we've been taught just only the outer world matters. The inner world doesn't matter because it's a different dynamic. It's a different frequency, it's a different energy. It's a different way of being in that space.
Yes.
However, creation happens on the inner world. Creation happens because it's metaphysical. It's not physical. It's inner. It's like you flipped it. So it's the non-seeable by your external senses. It's your internal senses that are accessing this, right? And so that's why I work with the light and sound. When I work with the sound bowls or sound healing or voice and all those things, is I'm working with the inner manifestation, with the metaphysical, which is beyond the physical, which is that space. And that space is like your blank canvas, right? So
we will have to do a slight rewind. Yeah. I don't know if all of our listeners here are astute in this thing that we call the metaphysical, because like you said, we have been so permanently trained to only focus here that when somebody says metaphysical, what do you mean? Can you just kind of give somebody a really brief overview of what that means?
Oh goodness, yes. So meta, let's take a look at metaverse. We're all hearing about meta, right? Has Facebook changed its name? Yes, meta. Yes. So what does meta mean? It means beyond. Metaverse means beyond. It kind of means beyond song in a way. It can also mean death. It can also mean the opposite of that. It has also got links to meaning that. But meta, because when we think of something dying, right, it's not physical anymore. Right? It's non-physical. So meta is kind of also working with meta. When you're in the metaverse, it's not a physical verse. It's not a physical universe. It's a metaverse, right? So meta means beyond or non, or it's without it, right? It's beyond the physical. So when we say metaphysical, it's beyond the physical. It's kind of like what the physical is published on. So it's like the metaphysical is like the world of imagination. It's beyond what you can see. It's beyond what you can hear, beyond what you can feel. It's the metaphysical side of us. And we all have that, but we've been taught that we're just this physical being, we're this meat suit that's just moving around on earth, and we've got to work hard, and we've got to do. And, nobody has time for meditation. Nobody has time to go within. I like to say, there's a saying that says, the only way out is through. But then I've got another level. The only way through is in.
Yeah, so the only way to any solution is it's in. Mm-hmm. When we're reaching, even though we may reach outside of ourselves for different, types of expertise, we really have to go in first, so we can even figure out what we want to resolve. And that goes to everything: business, personal, interpersonal, metaphysical. We still have to go in first. Mm-hmm. Because if we're not doing what our consciousness needs, then the resolution, like you said, is tasteless and fruitless.
Yep, exactly. And then so a lot of people are then chasing these things outside of themselves, thinking that that's going to give them fulfillment, because they're thinking that their fulfillment is going to come from something external. But fulfillment, you can't. Firstly, the thing that the belief that you need to have some sort of thing to fulfill you is an error in and of itself, because we're all already fulfilled. We are abundant in what we are as children of the divine spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. We are an image and likeness of our creator, which is a creator. We are natural creators. So that means that there is nothing that we need outside of ourselves in order to create. We came here complete. We came here whole. We just are expanding into more of that wholeness and that knowing. And so what the outside world tells us is that you're not complete. You're not okay. You've got to change. You're not enough. You're not lovable. You're wrong. You're bad. You're blah, 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 blah. So we keep trying to create ourselves as something that will be acceptable to the external realm.
It's funny that you said that, because we're always looking for that external validation. And then we get stuck in this cycle of, I still want this. I still can't do that. I'm still not good enough. And it's because we're still looking outside. Once you start going inside, without a shadow of a doubt anywhere, because you are a creator, created in the likeness and the image, that you are possible. You are exactly enough, and you are equipped with everything you could ever need. Maybe, that's really probably something that business owners struggle with more, is going outside of themselves for that validation and not listening to that inner self that's telling them, no, you need to come back inside.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is run, rush, coffee, stay up late, drink coffee, try and stress. And, here's the thing. Let's look at this last 2.5 years, right, that we've had. Everyone literally had to put down their weapons, put down their tools and stop and take a look and take a breath and go, it's given people, it's kind of like we had a forced sabbatical. Most people have had a forced sabbatical, right? And had to really take a look at their lives. And I mean, even in Hawaii right now, it's very interesting because obviously things have started up again, but the people that were working so hard are not necessarily wanting to work so hard anymore. And I mean, whether we're getting paid, like one chef friend of mine is getting paid $22 an hour. $22 an hour. How do you live on that in Hawaii? You don't live on that in Hawaii because rent here is $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom place, right?
Okay.
It's you can't. And so there's people that are doing these jobs that are actually supporting the tourism industry that need to be, chefs and cleaners and all these things. They can't afford to live here because the price of rent has gone up so high and they're only getting paid, $20 an hour? I mean, how does a person live off $20 an hour? It's not realistic, especially in Hawaii, right? So people are realizing, why do I have to work so hard? And where they were just in that routine, in that mindset, they hadn't had a break. They didn't think about, what is my life about? They didn't think about, oh my God, is it all going to end? I mean, what have I lived for? If this is all that I've lived for, really needing to take stock of their lives. So that's bringing on a huge paradigm shift, huge, where people are no longer wanting to live like that anymore, right?
Yeah, they're not.
So here's the thing is people are questioning themselves and they're wanting to find out, who am I? What am I here for? What is my real purpose? I can't just be flipping burgers in a place for the rest of my life, right? Or whatever they're doing. And going, there must be more to me. There must be more to life, right? And so that's the beautiful thing with where the sound technology comes in, is because I can help people to connect to their higher selves, to connect to their inner selves, to tap into that core seed atom of themselves, to be able to actually come into awareness of, oh my goodness, I already know all the answers. Oh my goodness, I already know who I need to contact. And it doesn't mean that you're going to have all the perfect answers in your head, but you're going to know the exact right person to speak to at the exact right time, to give the exact right message at the exact right moment, right? For the exact thing that you need. You don't have to be searching for everything outside of yourself. You're just going to be like, oh, I need this. And then when you create that energy inside of you and you set that intention in the non-physical, metaphysical space, then it is able to come to you, because that's how this world actually works. This world is meant to be here to serve you. That if we take, even if you look at it from a perspective,
serve you, not you serve it.
But this is because we are naturally servers. We naturally want to give, and so when we are speaking to all that is that the universe, or that external thing that we believe is external, that's actually internal. It's just a reflection of ourselves, right? When we're speaking to that, we're actually saying, "Hey, I need this to create this." So we're kind of it's like a what are those guys? Surgeon, a surgeon he's in the surgery, and he's like, the surgeon is there and he's going, scalpel, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. He knows exactly what he needs to get the job done. And so he's just telling his assistants, right, the universe, hey, I need a scalpel. Okay. He's not going, oh gosh, can I serve you so that you can give me a scalpel? No, he's saying, hey, scalpel, I've got a job to do, right? And if we look at our lives the same way, is we've got this thing that we need to bring forth that is this new, each of us has got something completely new and unique to bring forth into the world. Mine is working with crystal sound, right? This is the technology. This is such amazing technology to work with this technology, right? What's that?
It helps bring us back to our own sonic frequency, our own sonic vibration that has been there the whole time. We were just taught that doesn't exist. Everything is out here. But the problem is that doesn't serve you, and it's a bucket of lies.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I'm so thankful that you're here with me today, Beverly. And for all of the listeners out there, if you could only imagine, I'm sure some of you can. I'm sure that some of you are very awake and conscious and thriving in that. So you understand the power that she's speaking of. And those of you who have not tapped into that, hell, that's why we have Miss Beverly here today. So I know that, being a business owner, it can be challenging. There's so many things that we do have to manage. We have so many roles, so many hats, so many masks. How have you juggled that, especially in your space where many people just don't have any comprehension of what you're doing because of the mission? Does that make sense?
The thing is, in my space, it's pretty easy because most people, I think, relate to what I'm saying, right? They understand where I'm coming from, which is kind of cool. I really haven't. I've been more, to be honest with you, myself personally, up until like this last year, I've been more in internal working on myself mode. Like it's been really an internal space for me for the last 5 years. I haven't had a yes to actually get out there and do what I need to do because the timing wasn't right. It's like, no, they're not ready yet. It's not time yet. You've got still a bit of work to do. So when I look at the business side of things, I'll give you a bit of background. So when I was, I'm actually from South Africa. I moved to Hawaii in 2017, and I came here for a 1-year coaching program. And obviously, I'd already been coaching, but I needed to get some certification. So it was just like, that was the story. And so I came here, and then I decided to stay. And I actually came here, and I had $900 in my purse. I'd sold my car. I didn't really have a place to stay in South Africa. The partner that I had was my fiance. After 2 months of being here in the country, he came here and then decided to leave after 3 days, and we separated. And then I got married in the October the same year. And then like a whole thing happened with that. Moved 13 times, had like lost. I mean, I've gone through four times where I've had everything, lost everything. Like gone from like I was working my younger years. I was working in a business, top salesperson, had everything going well, partner, the 2 dogs, this 4-bedroom house, the cars, the debt, all of the wonderful things, buying property, moving in that direction. Everything just got retrenched, everything pulled from under me. And then it happened again a second time, got retrenched a second time, got the car got repossessed because I couldn't afford, because I didn't have it was like all of the things happened, right? And then the third time happened with this partner. And then the fourth time when I got married and then got divorced, right? And so went through like a whole lot of beautiful things that happened. We call it beautiful.
No, it is beautiful. It's a journey that we can always be thankful. We must always be thankful for, because if we didn't have each and every one of those experiences, we wouldn't be talking here today.
Exactly. And I feel like that is the journey of also being an entrepreneur, is we are kind of cut from a different cloth in a way. We're kind of more hard ass. We don't like to have I'm not good at having a boss. I'm really not. I like to be like, even in the sales positions I was in, I was the manager. I was the sales manager. I was the number one consultant in South Africa for 3 years running out of an MLM company that did ladies' intimacy parties, did parties like throughout, South Africa. And I was the number one consultant for 3 years running, and then obviously left that because I just didn't want to do that anymore. So my vision was like, okay, I want to create something where I can do the events, but with a different kind of product. And so that's where these came in. I discovered these in 2017 with one of the women that was at the coaching retreat that I was at. And she had a whole lot of these crystal balls, and I just fell in love with them. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So I studied musical theater, and I'm a singer. And obviously that just resonated with me, because sound has like always been a thing. And over the last couple of years, I've realized that in past lives, I was what they would call a siren or a priestess, a high priestess in the Magdalen kind of lineage. I don't know if I might be talking over some people's heads here, but right now, but there's a whole thing with the Magdalen lineage, which is linked to Jesus, which is Mary Magdalene, and Mary, mother of Jesus, and Mary Magdalene. Mary links to the Mary makers. They were Merry, Mary, but they're also Mary. So there was part of that Mary line. And the whole thing with the Mary, that energy is Mer, which is mother, mother. And so that's linking with that frequency of the divine feminine. So the divine feminine is now really awakening, and it's also calling the divine masculine or the masculine energy into its true space. Because the thing is, and this is where I'm going to be a little bit controversial here with this transhumanism thing, with the transsexual and all that kind of stuff. To me, I look at it and I see there's a distortion here. There's a distortion with the energy of the masculine and feminine in these beautiful people, these beautiful beings. There's a distortion there, and there's also this is coming from the food supply. This is coming from the what we've been seeing on TV, how the indoctrination has been happening in schools. It's all coming to fruition now with this new group of generation that is coming in. They're connected with that, and there's a bit of confusion with the sexuality because also there was a twist in the frequency with the feminine and masculine. And now the divine feminine is coming on, the divine masculine is coming online. So there's all the distortion is now being brought up to be released and to be shifted out. That's always how it works. The distortion comes up, and then we clear it, and then the divine blueprint can actually anchor in or come back online because it's not being covered up anymore by the distortion. Right? So that's kind of the part that I've been on now, is working with this frequency to align people's energy centers, to align the frequency in them, and to also help people to connect to their higher selves. Because when I'm playing the bowls, and we'll probably play it in a moment here, when you listen to it, it actually just takes you into this space of no time, no space.
No time and space.
You see? So, and when you're in the no time, no space, that's the metaphysical connection to the all that is, the pure essence. That's the fertile soil that you can plant your thoughts and seeds of creation in.
Yes.
You let them go and let them flourish in perfect timing.
I understand and understand very well what we're speaking about. But I know that our listeners out here, they're saying sounds and healing. You're holding the bowl right now. You guys really need to check out this video, this episode in particular. Can you play some of the bowl? Because here's the thing. It's not going to be a new sound. Every soul recognizes it. As soon as we remember, as soon as we bring ourselves and put ourselves back together into what we were originally created to be as co-creators, we remember that sound. So if you might oblige us, can you play a little bit? And what chakra are we working with at this point? What energy tone?
So this is an F sharp. I'm just gonna change the sound on in here in a moment, because the minute I change the sound, you're gonna see it's a bit different sounding. So this specific bowl, this is this is called a cosmic chalice. Okay. So when we're working with, it works a lot with the cosmic energy, and it's a chalice, and the chalice is a symbol of the divine feminine. It's a symbol of like the Holy Grail. It's a chalice.
Yes.
The womb, and that would be the vagina, right? If you were looking at a feminine energy, the feminine anatomy, that's what it kind of symbolizes, right? Is the womb, right? And the womb of creation. So this is where we can create from, right? So there's a whole lot of symbolism within this. So when I'm going to play this bowl now, remember I spoke to you about the Azure Ray, which is at that point in between your collarbones where they touch?
Yeah.
This is linking to that specific frequency. It's an F sharp. So, and now here's the thing. It's not a hard and fast set, that tone works with that chakra, blah, blah, blah. It's just an easy way for us to direct our energy, because we're the observers, we're the creators. So as we say it, so it is, right? So there's a common...
As we say, so it is. But those who are not as profoundly, they've gone in and studied this, when you feel that vibration, exactly, you will feel the vibration. And it will feel natural, like going to a concert with loud music, right? There's a number of places that we feel it, and that's generally through the chest and the solar plexus area. Same concept, except you're going home. You're going to feel very at home. At first, it'll be like, I've heard that before. It's because you have.
Exactly. And so what I'm going to do is I guide you through this. I'm going to guide you through a little mini meditation. And what I want everyone to imagine then is on the left side of your body, on the left side, if I'm looking at the camera, left side, you would be imagining a pink frequency, thinking about the divine feminine frequency, okay, feminine energy, that side. And on the right-hand side, you'd be thinking your right-hand side, this would be your right-hand side if I'm looking at you mirror-wise. Your right-hand side, you're going to think of a blue frequency. It's like an electric blue, okay? So you're going to imagine that you've got those two frequencies there. And then you're going to bring, when we breathe in, and I play the bowl, you're going to breathe in and imagine you're bringing those two passages, so it's called passages breathing. You imagine you bring those two passages together to create a color that is not ultraviolet, it's intraviolet, okay? Because we're working with the internal, right? So it's intraviolet, and this is working with a thing called plasma frequencies. So we're working with the plasma body, plasma frequencies. Every single one of us has got a plasma body. I'm not going to go into detail of how that works. If you want to find out more, you can contact me. But we've all got a plasma body, okay? Because we've got many different types of bodies. We think we've got a physical, but all different types. We're a really, really amazing technology. Like, please don't go put any kind of weird chips in your head, please, because you're so amazing. You don't need that stuff, okay? You can create your own freaking metaverse in your brain, and you are already that, okay? So anyways, you're going to bring the left side is going to be the pink, and the right side is going to be the blue, electric blue. And you're going to imagine you're bringing those two. When you breathe in, practice with me for a second, breathe in, and you bring them together in the center of your center channel of your energy field, right, of your body. Okay. And you're going to bring it together, and it creates like an intraviolet. It's like a violet color. And then you're going to exhale. As you exhale, you separate them apart again. And then you're going to breathe in.
And they come back together, right?
And they come out. So it's like you're doing this rock.
Those who are listening, if you're driving, don't do this while we're driving. Don't do it while we're driving. You need to be focused.
A good disclaimer, but it would probably actually help you focus more. Just don't close your eyes. I do it while I'm driving. It's a good way to
heard it from the pro.
Yeah, I've done it while I'm driving, and it just actually helps me to be more focused and more concentrated while I'm busy driving. Because it's not a one that's going to put you into a la la land kind of sleep. It's actually going to turn you on more into your full on connection with everything, right? So you'll actually be more aware. It'll actually help you, but just obviously don't close your eyes. But if you can rest, then that's good as well. That's perfect.
Just be safe. All the listeners out there, seriously, be safe.
Be safe. Be safe. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do.
I'm going to go ahead and mute out. That way you've got the show.
Got it. Perfect. You just take this original sound off. So the sound should be a bit different now. So just take a deep breath in. And first thing you're going to do is ground your feet into the center of the earth. So imagine you're breathing and you send your energy down into the center of the earth. And imagine that you're connecting in with the earth's core crystal. It's an iron core crystal, and you're activating that iron core and activating the iron within your bodies, which is what makes you magnetic. So breathing. And then breathe that energy from Mother Earth all the way up through your feet and up into your high heart. So imagine you're tapping into your high heart, which is at the point where your collarbones connect at the top above your heart center. And now we're going to breathe into that spot. And as you breathe into that spot, imagine a pink crystal. It's like a pink diamond-shaped crystal. And this is part of your seed atom anatomy. And so as you're tapping into the seed crystal, breathe in there and bring your attention to that spot. And then as you exhale, breathe in deep and exhale. And imagine you're sending this pink frequency all around your body as a happy bubble. We're calling it your happy bubble. So your happy bubble just really creates this kind of force field around you. And now then I want you to tap in and feel this happy bubble. Feel how good this feels, like this this sparkling, tickling, beautiful frequency. Now take a deep breath in and exhale. And just settle here. And then imagining your pink channel on the left side and your blue channel or blue passage on the right. Now you're going to take a deep breath in and pull those passages together in the center. And then exhale and let them separate and go back to the side. And then another deep breath in. And hold at the center, build a bit of charge here. So when you hold, you can actually squeeze your PC muscles, your sphincter muscle. You can squeeze and hold it up. And hold and bring that intraviolet color in the center. And then exhale. You can actually even do it as you breathe out. So it's just going to help to calm your nervous system down as well. And then another deep breath in. And bring those passages together. And exhale. Beautiful. And now notice that you've got this beautiful frequency of this pink, blue, intraviolet all around in your field. This is the masculine and your feminine in alignment, in harmony, because not only do we have if you're female, are you more leaning towards the feminine, but we've all individually got a masculine and feminine side, which links to different qualities and different capacities that we have. So I'm going to play this a little bit more. I just want you to sit and you can keep breathing. Just listening to the sound. And allowing yourself to follow the sound into the silence. And as you go deeper into the silence, activate your listening capacities. That you can listen to any messages that your higher self is wanting to share with you today. Anything that your higher self wants you to know about your business or what you're here to bring to the world. How to activate your gifts more fully and completely. How to give more fully from the abundant wisdom and knowing and gifts that you have to give. From that beautiful, sweet, open heart of yours. And now as you're feeling the silence here and you're listening, tap into the highest timeline for your greatest good. Tap into that feeling of gratitude in your heart when you know that you're on your highest path, when you know that you're on your most divine expression. And ask yourself, what is something that your divine inner self, your divine inner child wants to express in this day or in this week? Something fun, something playful, something magical. Maybe you want to sing, maybe you want to dance, maybe you want to paint, maybe you want to play with Play-Doh, maybe you want to knit, Maybe you want to do a flower arrangement. Tap into that. And now make a commitment to yourself here and now that you're going to give yourself an opportunity to take some creative time. And know that this creative time is going to serve you in your business, especially if you're feeling stuck somewhere. Sometimes breaking out of the mold of what you think you should be doing and instead just letting your mind relax and ease off of that. Just take the foot off the gas pedal. Allow yourself to go into neutral for a bit. And I mean figuratively, so if you're driving, please don't do that. And then just tap into what that would be like and what that would feel like and how much fun that would be. And if you had your eyes closed, you can take a deep breath. Bring yourself here into this present moment and know that that's now been anchored in the field for you.
Really, I think you may have just opened like thousands of consciousnesses. That's not a word. Consciousness, right? I'm going to speak from my own personal experience. When I started playing my own bowls, it was a really strong sound, but it was home. And I feel like you really gave that to everyone today. You guys, if you ever were wondering what a meditation could be, how to go within, Beverly just gave us that door, that pathway. And if you're looking for, answers, who's not, right? Who's not looking for answers? Who's not looking to, break that glass ceiling? Who's not looking to level up? Who's not looking to do that? Go within. Go within. Answers, everyone always tells you the answers are outside of you. No, the answers were always within you. And Beverly, just thank you so much for really, bringing the opportunity to make people aware of that. For, people who do know me, they know how I live. We have our own bowls here, but those who don't know, what happens in my own inner castle, that was a really great opener to introduce the concept of sound healing, to going within to obtain the answers, because you are the farthest thing from wrong.
And even if I was, I'd be okay with that anyway.
No, see, you're never wrong. You're just gathering different portions of feedback.
Exactly.
Right? So everyone out there, it's never wrong. It's just different portions of feedback on your journey to self-success, to self-discovery, to self-mastery. Success is this very fickle thing that we call out here in the rest of the world of commerce. But what really is success, right? I feel, especially, after I've studied under my own mentor and apprenticed with him, that success is that awakening, that consciousness, that going within and realizing who I am. Like, okay, here I am called Lauren, but there's so much more to that word called Lauren. And more people need to know about that, because that was the transcendent variable, was knowing who I am. Because all of us are out here on some kind of journey, right? We all have our own perspectives. We all have our own desires. And we look outside for the answers. And Beverly, it was so important that you came on today, because business owners, individuals, and humanity alike really need to know that it's going to come within. Okay, fine. Sometimes we're going to need some training on how to go within, because they didn't teach us how to do that. They kind of told us everything is out here. That's where Miss Beverly is going to come in and make sure that you can open that door, access your own knowledge. Seriously, it's there. You just need to open the door. Press the button, the unlock button, you're there. And Beverly can help you to do that. So Beverly, I do have to ask you the question, because we are the principal women in business. What do you think that your biggest struggle is in business and growing your business?
My biggest struggle in business is doubting myself, definitely doubting myself, because I've got so many different ideas to what's out there. It's like, because if I'm innovating, when you're an innovator,
yes,
you're up to, like, there's nobody that's doing what you're doing, or you're the pioneer, you're one trailblazing. So I've always been that kind of person that's been an innovator, which is good on one side, but also the self-doubt has stopped me. And also, and also, I mean, I live in Hawaii, so it's very tempting to want to go play in the waterfalls and on the beach instead of sitting in front of my computer. So that I would say is my second little thing is like, okay, I've actually like got to sit down and do some work in front of my computer. I've got to actually do this thing. So that's, I think, would be like part of that. I mean, I'm very blessed. I have a really amazing life here, and I know I created it. And I didn't necessarily create it from hard work. I created it from going to the field, planting the seeds in the field, and then responding to what came up in my experience, right? And that's the way we create, with ease and flow, versus creating with hard work and trying to kill ourselves, right? So,
you know, in that you brought up something key, and I love you. I feel like you're my spirit animal anyway, but you're not unique in one sense, particularly. That thing called self-doubt, which, you know, to a lot of folks, you know, sometimes, you know, it's called imposter syndrome, right? You know, that self that says, how dare you? Like, how dare you? No. How dare you not do it is actually the proper internal conversation that we need to be having, is how dare you not bless humanity with your highly unique, individualized, and universal power. And all business owners and all of humanity needs to know that, you know, no matter, our struggles aren't particularly unique, right? We're all going through these same struggles. We just don't want to talk about it because it's embarrassing. But it's the self that is unique, and that's the value that you're bringing. And that's the impact and the mission that you've been put here for. So I want to urge all of the listeners and the watchers here today to really go inside and ask yourself, what is your mission? What is your purpose? What impact are you here to fulfill? Because when we go inside, you're going to get answers, and that's when you're going to find transcendence. That's when you're going to find transformation. You know, all of those things that the self-help books tell you to do. Yeah, you just got to go inside. Really is what it is. So Beverley, it has been a profound pleasure. I so very much look forward to you opening people's minds, eyes, and vessels to where the true wisdom and the knowledge is. Because it's very much needed, especially in today's society. You know, we're kind of in this place of awakening. Right. But the people who are coming forth, they don't know what's happening. They're so confused. But when you have these sounds, the confusion gets reduced because it is home, and it feels like home. So if you wouldn't mind, can you let people know how to reach out to you? And then when they reach out to you, they're going to make sure that they mention the Solutionist so they know where you got the information. Otherwise, it's kind of creepy and stalkerish.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm okay with creepy and stalkerish. We have beautiful block abilities right now on phones, and I live in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so
magical.
So to connect with me, if this is on Facebook, you can actually reach out to me through my Facebook page, Beverley Buckley. I've got a Facebook page, Beverley, BEVERLEY BUCKLEY, Beverley Buckley, and you can actually find me on my what you call that slash thing tag / Beverley Buckley 1. I'm the first one. I am the one. I am one. So
one and only.
Yeah, the one. So you can reach out to me with that, and you can just DM me and say, hey, Bev, I'd like to connect with you. I am offering, if you'd like to, it's a pre-recorded It's a morning and evening, like a morning activation with this crystal singing bowls, and an evening one that kind of puts you into a sleep state so that you can create. In the morning, you bring what you've brought through your dreams can come through and actually be created in the day. And then when you go to sleep, you're kind of preparing yourself for sleep time. In the nighttime, you'll be able to like pull forth the information that's going to help you anchor in those beliefs or thoughts or whatever you want in the evening time. So that is something that I'm offering. And so you can just reach out to me directly. I haven't yet got it on my website and all that beautiful stuff. I do have a website, BEVERLEYBUCKLEY.com, but it's better just to reach out to me personally, specifically because I promised Lauren that, you could reach out to me if you're part of this tribe. I'll be happy to reach and connect with you. And then I do offer, obviously, sound healing sessions and there's all sorts of things that I can give you there. And I do self-expression coaching and those kind of things to help you connect with your gifts and with your art and what you're here to bring and all of that kind of stuff. And then we also run retreats here on Maui. We've actually started kicking them up again this year. The first one is happening this coming Saturday. And we're doing just 1-day retreats for now until, things start moving a little bit further on. And then we'll move it to weekend and full week retreats. So if that's something that you'd like to come and have a retreat in Maui, you're welcome to come and do that. And just come and reach out to me with that. And then the third thing is for those of you that are wanting to also play with sound bowls yourselves, or would like to purchase some sound bowls or sound. This specifically the Cosmic Chalice, the chalice one, which is part of my branding, my personal creation. And if you'd like to, I call myself a sonic priestess when I'm working in this world. So it's working with sacred sound. So if you're find that you love singing or that you love music or you've always wanted to sing or you've always wanted to play crystal bowls, or it's like something that you look towards and you're like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. That's so magical. I wish I could do that. Just reach out to me. There are some possibilities there as well. I'm obviously not going to go into too much detail right now, but we can have a lack of fat chat. In South Africa, we call it a lack of fat chat. It's like you just sit and have a nice conversation together and see what's in your flow. I'm happy to serve in whatever way is going to be for your highest and greatest good.
Highest and greatest good. Beverley, you have no idea how grateful I am to have you on the show because I know what your process and what we already know. I know the impact that it had in my own experience. And to everyone listening, if any iota of a slight of something piqued an interest, that's yourself telling you that you need to go ahead and open that door. It didn't pique an interest because nothing's random. Nothing's random. And I feel it's very important that you're going within yourself because especially in business, personal, family, you name it.
Yeah.
When you go inside with yourself, that's where you're going to uncover all of it. And you already know that I'm here to, I'm called the Solutionist. Of course, I'm here to solve problems, but that's where you're going to go to get most, especially when it comes to where you're going to go, what your path is, what's your mission, what's the next step. That's where you're going. So Beverley, thank you so much for one, spending, this time with me, but two, really unlocking to people the sound that they know, but they didn't know.
Thank you.
And that's very powerful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you, Lauren. Mrs. Solutionist, yes, right? Miss or Mrs. Solutionist.
I am a Ms. nowadays. I'm not the Mrs., but I am the Ms.
Miss Solutionist, I love that. I'm also a Ms. nowadays. It's fun. It's fun, right? Loving life. So it was an absolute pleasure to be here, and I'm really grateful to be able to share with your tribe and your followers. And really, I'm very grateful to be sharing, all the magic that we're here to bring. And hopefully anyone in your tribe is going to, if I can assist anyone, I'm happy to give.
Yes, Beverley Buckley, make sure that you're sending her DMs and reaching out to her. Let her know that you heard her on the Principled Women in Business podcast, the PWIB podcast with the Solutionist, because you need to get into this information. It will change your experience on so many levels. So anyway, Beverly, thank you.
Absolute pleasure, and lots of love to everyone and yourself as well.
Love to everyone. And I was just going to say that I hope that all of the listeners and watchers really were able to feel and absorb the love and, the affection and the acceptance that is absolutely meant for you, and you deserve all of it. So my name is Lauren Delgaro, also known as the Solutionist. Join us on our next episode for the Principled Women in Business podcast, where we will have yet another life-changing guest. Thank you for coming on.
Aloha.
Thank you for tuning in to the Principled Women in Business podcast, where we're here to talk about the obstacles and the problems that we experience as business owners and really uncover and unravel true solutions that are going to take you to the next level. I am passionate about helping you get to the next level and break through your own goals. There's nothing more satisfying to me than to see you win. Make sure that you're reaching out to us on our numerous social media platforms. We have different content that we put everywhere. So look us up on Facebook. You can find me personally at The Solutionist Queen on Facebook and LinkedIn. We are also on YouTube, Minds, Odyssey, Instagram. You can literally find us all over the internet, and we are here. Now, if you want the true nuggets on how to grow and scale your business and really get that breakthrough knowledge that you need to move to the next level, make sure that you're hitting subscribe on my private email list, because that's the only place where I uncover these true golden nuggets that are going to make it or break it. So make sure you're getting on that private list, and I look forward to learning more about you and your business very soon.
And that wraps up another episode of the Principled Women in Business podcast. Follow us on social media to never miss an episode and to unlock full access to your trusted business solution center. Find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, and YouTube. Till next time, stay strong and keep crushing. Find us at laurendulgaru.me or call 407-337-1117.